Did you have to wear a harness to correct your clicky hips as a baby? If so, did you know that your baby now has a higher risk of having clicky hips too? Hi there, it's Neesha from My Favorite Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to share with you 5 risk factors for clicky hips, or medically we call developmental dysplasia of the hips. So here at My Favorite Physio, we see lots of babies and newborns for newborn baby checks. We would look at baby's neck muscle, hips, and feet to ensure that there wasn't any issues with baby's hips, feet, or neck muscles. Now, unfortunately, we do find babies who have clicky hips that was missed when they were born at the hospital or at their 6-week baby check with the baby nurse or their pediatrician. So we thought it's really important to jump in and share with you the 5 risk factors that you should consider. And if you're ticking the box for these 5 risk factors, you really should have your baby checked by an expert pediatric physiotherapist. So the first risk factor is family history. If you had a history of clicky hips, or baby's daddy had a history of clicky hips, or grandparents had a history of clicky hips, then your baby is at a higher risk of having clicky hips, and it's really important to get baby checked out by an expert pediatric physiotherapist. Number 2, females. If you have a girl baby, they're at a higher risk of having clicky hips than boy babies. And if you throw in family history, then it's really important you get your baby checked. Risk factor number 3, firstborn babies. So firstborn babies are often more at risk of having hip developmental dysplasia because they might be really squashed and tight. Your tummy muscles have not yet stretched, and so it's tighter space for baby. They're more at risk of having clicky hips. Number 4, breech presentation. So if your baby was breeched and they were feet down first rather than head down first, then they're at higher risk of having developmental dysplasia of the hips or clicky hips. Now, if your baby was in a breech position for a lot of your pregnancy and they only turn in the last month or last week, then they still are at risk of having clicky hips because they've had their feet up by their ears, their hips would have not developed well. So either a breech presentation at birth or a breech presentation in a lot of the pregnancy, particularly in your 3rd trimester, it's important to have your baby checked. Risk factor number 5, if you were told that you have decreased amniotic fluid in your tummy during your pregnancy, then there is a higher risk of baby actually having clicky hips. So if you're going through those 5 checklists and you're saying, yes, this is a family history, yes, I've got a baby girl, yes, it's my firstborn, and yes, baby was in a breech position most of my pregnancy, particularly at the end, and yes, I was told that there was reduced amniotic fluid in my tummy during the pregnancy, then you really need to speak to an expert pediatric physiotherapist, have your baby's hips checked. If you would like to speak to one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists here at My Favorite Physio, the number to ring is 02-9790-4233. And if you know somebody out there who's just had a newborn baby, why don't you like and share this video with them? Until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye.